Guys, I'm about to share with y'all my biggest mistake I ever made with the spinning rod and what I learned about it to help you guys go out and catch more fish with the spinning rod. Or if you're really good with the spinning rod, then maybe you're going to learn something about it in this video. Guys, welcome to the Fishing Coach YouTube channel. I'm Coach E, Jimmy Eastrom. Go ahead and call me Coach. And we're about to talk about the spinning rod. And if you watched a lot of my channel, you've seen me catch a lot of fish with it. Definitely in the recent, I guess my channel's been under a year old. And by the way, thanks for all my guys that are subscribers to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, man, go ahead, check it out. You know, hit the subscribe button. It will help me out. You know, go ahead, do all that other stuff. Leave me some comments too. Leave me some comments about this video. I'm about to have some fun with this. But guys, let's talk about the spinning rod and my history with the spinning rod. Growing up, when I got into the tournaments and then the bass fishing kind of competitively, I got into the spinning rod. I remember going out my first tournament as a co-angler at Lake DeGray, and all I brought was like 3 bait casting rods. And the guy that I was with was like, hey man, and guys, I was 15 by the way, this is like a club tournament, and the guy was like, hey dude, you don't have any spinning rods? I was like, no man, I only have these 3 bait caster rods. And he's like, well, hey, here, I'm gonna get you one and you're gonna have a shaky head on it. And man, we caught a lot of fish that day. So I learned that day the power of the shaky head. And definitely for like Lake DeGray, guys, if you know Lake DeGray, Ouachita, I mean, the shaky head's powerful. So then I went and got me a cheaper spinning rod. I was 15 years old, went and got me a spinning rod. So I got pretty familiar with the spinning rod. The spinning rod for me was a way to catch fish, was to get numbers, fish in the tournaments, or fishing on a tough day. It was a way to get the bites. And I caught a couple good fish with it at times, but not big fish. Not like you've seen recently on the channel, and we're gonna talk about big fish and spinning rods, okay? So then guys, got pretty good spinning rod, had a couple, and threw flukes on them also, and the drop shot a little bit. I hated a drop shot, still don't like a drop shot. But anyway, so then guys, I moved to Southwest Arkansas, where there's a lot of big fish down there, and I was closer to Texas and Oklahoma, big fish. I put my spinning rods away. That is my mistake, is I put the spinning rods up, and I went 4 years without fishing a spinning rod. And I hated them. Guys, if you are followed me throughout my whole YouTube journey on the Declassified channel, Bass Fishing Declassified that I was on, and part of it, I even talked about videos. I called it a fairy one. I made fun of it. Said I'm not going to throw it. Disregard, guys, the shade and all this right now. Got a bee right here. But guys, like, I just put it up. And that was my mistake, is putting it up. And there's times I could have got better with it and more proficient. And now, what I started seeing though in that 4-year period was tournaments getting won on it on these lakes with big fish that get pressure. Sam Rayburn, for example. Toledo Bend. I know, but Sam Rayburn, I believe it was Michael Neal that went down there and had a big tournament with it. And I started seeing other guys get familiar with the spinning rod on these lakes, and I was like, man, I probably need to pick it up. And then forward facing sonar started coming about, and I was like, I might really need to, because I was watching the scenes. And what kind of got me back into the spinning rod is the hover rig. And this is just a hover rig right here with a freeloader. I'm actually going to make another video on this. We caught a lot of fish with this the other day, and I've thrown the hover rig a lot, as I'm about to get into, because of me working with Johnny Schultz Fish the Moment, me being part of the core tackle team. So I had to pull out my spinning rods back, and the hover rig was the reason. And I got really, really confident with the spinning rod and the hover rig. Then, of course, the jig head minnow came into play, and now I'm catching with the drop shot and other stuff. But I now love this spinning rod. But I wish those 4 years I didn't throw it, I would have kept throwing it, because I think there was a lot of times to where these pressured fish or lakes I was fishing could have got more bites, and maybe big bites as well. And the thing about it, guys, is with the spinning rod, let's just go ahead and say it. It's fun to catch fish on it. I think that's one thing. I like catching fish on it. With the lighter line and the lighter tackle, it does give your baits more action. One thing I've not been able to conquer on the spinning rod is throwing a jerk bait on it. I talked to some guys about the other day. Actually, one of my clients out in the boat, he throws all of his jerk baits on a spinning rod. He has confidence in it. I just don't, for some reason. I've tried. I always get the line tangled things up, man, and I don't know. But I know, like Matt Steffen, Randy Blockett, they were always talking to me about it, and I've tried. But now with the spinning rod, I have 4 of them on the deck. And like I said, it was the hover rig that started making me get more confident in it, because I got these hover rigs before they hit on the market. I wanted to learn more about it, wanted to get involved with it. And then, of course, forward-facing sonar was a big part of it as well. So one thing about it is, that's what I was just going to share, is that was my mistake, is not using a spinning rod. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys now, as you know, I love it, have fun with it. I predominantly throw a lot of fish watch. I throw it most of the time. And on spinning rods, though, there are a few different types of spinning rods. And that's one thing we need to talk about, the actions. I always kind of used a medium to medium heavy kind of action because I thought, hey, my bait casters are medium heavy and this, so I kind of stood with it. But now as I've gotten to learn, the lighter actions are actually better for some of your baits. So that's one thing you need to study, is when to throw a medium heavy, medium to medium light action. I'm right now throwing a lot of medium light rods. I was throwing medium for a while, but I'm now throwing medium light. These are the Level NGX series, guys. You know, if you talk about the channel, I'm just now on the team, and I'm impressed with these rods. I've thrown 3 different types of rods in my 2 years of full-time fishing. Guys, you know, I was with Denali for a while. Love Denali. Nothing against those rods. I was with Powell. Nothing against those rods. And I was testing Powell. And now, after these guys reached out and I started throwing them, I'm impressed. Like, I'm impressed with all of them. But definitely these, I've already went out and caught a bunch of good fish with them. So guys, if you have any questions on spinning rods, what to throw, just shoot me a message down below in a comment, or go to my Jimmy Easterling Fishing Facebook page. But that was my mistake, is going 4 years of not throwing it. So guys, share your mistakes with spinning rods, okay? As you see right here, let's go ahead and talk about it. Mine's on the right side. It's on your left. Right side. I've talked about that before. You know, people make fun of me, say, oh, you got to throw it on the left side, but it don't make sense to me to have a bait caster on the right side and this on the left. Guys, I grew up fishing this on the left and did it, and my mind was like, why am I doing this? You know, I get the throw in and it's easier, but why am I not doing that with a bait caster, right? And you know, lately with shaking the minnow, Jacob Wheeler, Cannell, some guys have gone back to the right because they shake it better, okay? Now, Wheeler can also cast anyway. Wheeler can cast left here. I think Wheeler's one of the best, like, casters. I like watch these dudes when they fish. I think he's one of the best casters. He can cast left, flip. He can go right, flip. He's phenomenal with a bait caster or a spinning rod casting. And there's other pros too. That's just one I've watched and studied. Okay, so with you guys, it's okay to be on the right side. I had a guy on the boat the other day, and after I told him that, he put his on the right. And he's like, "Oh, thank you." I thought you always had to have it on the left. So guys, appreciate it. Now let's get into the Faith Juice segment of the episode. The part of the series has been here for a month. Appreciate the comments on it. My thing on today, just for you guys, I'm going to talk about is being kind to somebody you don't like, or being kind to someone you don't know. Just today, when you're watching this in the upcoming days or weeks, try to be nice to somebody, okay? Being nice, respectful. If someone you don't like with at work, or someone you just might not like in general, just try to be a little nice and respectful today. I know it can be hard, or it could be someone you don't know. Open the door for somebody, okay? If you're walking into a store, restaurant or something, open the door. Be kind and respectful. A lot of positivity, and that carries yourself for a long way, and maybe the next person as well, okay? Appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all for watching the Fishing Coach YouTube channel, and hey, we will see you on the next one.